Welcome. This is Melinda Barlow, CZT, and yes, we're back. Here's our fourth bookmark series, and it's Sprigerz, and I love the two color. I love how it worked up on bookmarks, and just as I started to film, I did my first part, and now it's raining. It said it would rain. I got a little alert on my phone saying it would rain at 10:40, and at 10:42 it started raining. So we'll hope you can handle the noise in my RV. But this is our bookmark, and I loved how it turned out when I did it with the brown pen. But it's just a great bookmark. So we're gonna push this aside, and I'm gonna get my bookmarks. So here we have our bookmark, and I'm going to be using a brown 01 pen, also a black 01, a Prismacolor terracotta pencil, and a regular graphite pencil. So we're going to start out, and we're going to do the ceremony. I'm rereading Tangle primer book, and it's just always nice to reread and remember what you do. And I'm going to go ahead and put my dots, even though in my corners of my bookmark, about a pencil's width away from the edge, or a pen's width, maybe closer, then I'm going to draw my lines in between, and mine are never really very straight, and it just, I really find that really does make a difference. If you're, no matter what thing you're doing, if you do that, you have some direction in how, where you want to stop and go. And I'm going to do the one that is like this, so you can kind of see how we do the layering. And her Tangle is just I'm just going to come up, and I'm going to spiral in. I find that's the best way for me. I can get a more accurate, and you can make a little line in there. I'm going to come in a little bit so you can see. So there I have, and now I'm just going to aura this. And it's amazing what a simple little aura will do. And then we can put our little leaf shapes. I like to do the big one. Oh, and I don't think Brenda Campbell, CZT, I forgot to say who did this one. I like that, do that big one first, and then I'm going to come back and do my small ones later. That you see around the outside edge, but I always start with my big one, and then I'm going to do another one, and we could do one that is hollybod, which we remember that is where we draw under, and that is what is the amazing, I think, part of Zentangle, is that hollybod effect. People think, oh, how did you do that? If they're not artists, or if they're curious about it, that's one of the things that just is just satisfying, is that under drawing. It just creates something really big. Oh, and I forgot to put my big leaf on. And your big leaf can actually go anywhere. And mine never are just like square. Mine always have a little round to them. And I can have one of my tangles come up from the side. So I'm just going to grow them up the side. And then again, I just started right on my pencil line. And then I aura. And then I make my leaf shape. And I think I can almost, you can see how I kind of came up from the side of that. And oh, I wasn't on my camera. And let me scan back out so you can see the whole thing. You can see that I've got several of them just coming in different areas, and I've pretty much filled up this whole area. So now I can come back in and I can do my smaller little ones in, you know, like coming down the back side. And they're just smaller like the big one, but they are just smaller, and they can go on either side. Drawing that direction is a little harder for me, so I'll just go in and I will just fill in. And I also did a little holly bough on my leaf section right there. And when I come back this other direction, it's good for me because I have to think a little bit and go a little bit slower as I come down there. And I just choose where I want those little extra little leaves. And now we have all of them drawn, and now we can do the background and the shading. So I'm going to grid off my background. So I'll come out so you can see, and I'm just going to take my pen, and I'm still using my brown, and I'm just going to grid off behind. So you can see that I'm just like, think about where that line goes and come down here. And I have to just imagine where it might go behind my whatever I've drawn. And now I'm going to turn it and I'm going to go back this other direction so I have an actual square grid. And I just take my time to get that grid behind. Now I'm going to take up my black pen and I'm going to do floors behind. So with my black pen, I'm going to draw a little diamond in behind anywhere where there is where the lines cross over that I can see. I'm going to put a little diamond over that area. And so some of them are kind of tiny, and I just have to look. Okay, there would have been one here, and I would have seen about that much here on the edge. Just a little bit on that edge, and you can see, so you just have to kind of work it in where you think you would have seen it if it's behind. I don't know if that makes much sense. So I look and I can't see any here. There I can see one. I might have seen one there. Ooh, right there. And there we have all our little lines that are behind our so our kind of our lattice work looks great behind. Now we can take our colored pencil, and we're going to do our shading. And I'm going to sharpen, I always sharpen my colored pencils with a hand sharpener, never with an electric sharpener. And I've sharpened that up pretty sharp, and I'm going to put my color right here, just a little line, just on my leaf. So it's going to go and right down those little tiny leaves. I have to make it tinier because I don't want too much color in that area. And I might give it a little tiny bit of shading up with my pencil in the larger leaf. So when I blend it, I have a little bit more color up in there. So just a light little color going up in my leaf. And now I'm going to take my odorless paint thinner and a shading stump, and I usually have a little pot that I put it in, but I don't see where mine has gotten put, so I'm going to dip it down in here. It's kind of hard to dip down in that, and you can see that the tip is now wet, and that's plenty to shade all of this. So now I'm just going to shade, blending that color pencil up in. I want that dark at the bottom and blend that color up into the top. And I'm just going to take it and blend a little bit of color here. It's just a tiny bit because I had just a tiny area. We come in a little bit so you can see. I like it so much better than watercolor. For me, I have a little bit more control. So when I use a water color pencils, you can blend watercolor pencils with odorless paint thinner too, but I just don't like to blend with water because I don't have, it just is too wet and I just don't have the control. Okay, I'm a control freak, I guess. But when it comes to blending, for sure I am. So there we have it shaded out, but we're also going to take and we're going to add some graphite, just because I love what that does. So the bottom half, I'm going to add a little graphite just underneath my little sprigs. And then I'm going to have to take a different blending stump, because this one has a little graphite on it, because I don't want to use the odorless paint thinner. I want it to, but you can see I'm kind of putting that shadow more than just right underneath. It just kind of comes down behind. And there we have Sprigerz, and just done. This one, all the shading, all behind everything was graphite. And it's just a fun way to shade, and a great tangle, making a great bookmark. Now, I would suggest that you put your name on the back and tell them, if you're going to share this with somebody else, and tell them about what joy you have in the creative world of Zentangle. Maybe point them to this video or my YouTube channel. And thanks again to the Finks for to Buff and Mary Fink for giving me an opportunity to do bookmarks again. I so appreciate them. And again, if you have an idea, email me. I I would love to try to do something that you're looking for, because my goal is to help you become a better tangler and enjoy the joy of Zentangle. Thanks again. Have a great day, and all the things you see on that I do on here are available in my store, and you can make your own bookmarks. They're cut out of paper 2 by 6, but you can also get a pack of 30 at my store. So have a great day, and thanks again.